In this video I would like to talk more about the scientific endeavour we've been involved in, which at this point I believe is essential to take to the mining industry, and the benefits are for all of us. There's a number of videos on my YouTube channel which will discuss how we've gone about this gold science breakthrough and the advances we've made in that area. There's more to come, obviously, scientific papers and research breakthroughs, but in my opinion it's ready for the industry to adopt sections of it immediately. Hence, if you know anyone in a directorship or in a mining industry that is at a position to take note of this and implement it, feel free, and matter of fact I'd be greatly appreciative if you'd introduce this to them. There's two areas where this science can really make a difference, and the first is in exploration. With geophysics and the present soil analysis process, which result in a drilling program which in many cases has failed. The more information you can have about the area that you want to find the resource under is what's going on the surface, and sometimes in the present use of geophysics and soil sampling that can give a high-grade anomaly false reading. With the biological sensors that have been developing with the gold heavy metals group at Adelaide University that I'm involved with, and Dr. Frank Reith in particular, there is a way now of taking soil samples, identifying what is going on beneath the surface and at some great depth. A good opportunity to test this would be to go to a site that has already been geophysics tested, drilled, and some form of resource identified beneath it. And as long as the surface is not too disturbed other than the drill pads, a secondary look at this using this technology could once and for all show its benefit. So that's the exploration side of it. It's here and now. It's not something that's going to happen in 20 years' time. The second thing is the treatment of tailings. If we think the coal industry's got a problem, the gold industry with cyanide dams is definitely got one. And in time to come, I have great doubts that you will be able to get approvals for something like that. It is just one of those things that's been a part of the system, part of the industry, and if you can't see it being a lot more difficult to get that through the environmental areas, then I certainly can. So what we've come up with is a way of treating the tailings differently. And what I would like people to consider is the fact if they dewater that tailings at that exit point of the processing plant, reuse the cyanide water with other, some of the valuable contaminants in there like copper. Get that water reused back into the system as soon as possible, with as least cost on that treatment of that water. The heavy waste, either filtered or pressed, can then be taken to a heap leach scenario, which has been set up in advance, and the material dumped on that heap leach in a stockpile. There's the answer. If anyone can tell me that the cost of building a tailings dam per cubic metre of space being consumed by the waste running into it, let alone the potential for disaster sometime down the track and the pass on of liability to the next company or the mines departments or the community in general, has no cost. Well, of course it has an enormous cost. So when we equate the movement of this material, the dewatering it and taking it to another place, that has to be estimated in. The first accusation of our idea is, what's it cost? Well, in comparison to what we would have cost us, I don't think it's going to be any more. Matter of fact, I'll be surprised if it's not less. And therefore, what's in that tailings dam without our process is a dead weight. It is of no value to anyone, can't be assessed of value, and even if it has got 0.2 or more gold in there, it is of no value on the paperwork of the annual report for the company to go to the market with. If it's in a stockpile in another place, with some of what we suggest done to it, even without that, it is still a stockpile of a mineral resource, which then has a value and then can be put on the books of that company, and that company then can have the benefit of that as an asset, not as a detriment. So it's as simple as that. The fact that it becomes an asset if it's moved, it is not if it's put in the dam where it would have been. And of course the environmental economic benefits are, in my opinion, outstanding. So we'd like you to take this idea further. We want to take this idea further, and I'm volunteering myself. I've been very much involved in this, both the exploration and the processing side. One thing I've learned here at the Prophet Gold Mine is the difficulty of handling material. Most people involved in the mining today have no contact with the moving of material. They're in a directorship or a management process, and they're far distant removed from having to physically move material. So I understand the cost associated with that and the benefits of what I'm talking about. So any way we can advance this for both the better mining environment and a better environmental outcome would be greatly appreciated, and feel free to contact me. There's plenty of ways you can do that on www.profitau.com. That is how I spell profit. You can see more of what we do in the way of recycling at Instagram, profit_stone, and this YouTube channel and ones nearby it, which have indications of what we do here. And also one of Gold Science Breakthrough talks about this as well. So thank you.